You are listening to WRMU 91.1, the radio voice of Mount Union, Stark Actors on the Airwaves. Tonight, we have a guest, and a returning guest. I say guest because you guys aren't official members yet, because you haven't been in like 3 or more shows, while Elizabeth has. But our guest is Virgilia Tanner. Say hi.
Hi.
She's super excited to be here.
She's in my acting class, and she's like, Christina, I want to be in your show. And then
Why wouldn't you want to be in our show?
Our returning guest is Clarice.
Hi.
Your voice is so cute.
Oh, thank you.
Oh yay!
Listen here, Disney princess. Oh, jeez, hostile.
And our lovely actress and narrator for the night, Elizabeth.
Hi, I'm staying out of that.
Okay.
I'm just saying that because I love Disney princesses, so I love you. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh, I love you too.
Your voice sounds so good on the radio. If you could hear that. That wasn't an insult, Virgilia. I love you. And our co-host, Georgia.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
And me, Christina Zorich, your host. And now, if you tuned in last week, okay, Jamie can't be here. I don't know if she's... Oh, wait, no, she's not tuning in. She's busy. Our lovely narrator is gone for tonight, but that's okay. She deserved a break. And
yeah, she did a lot for us.
Especially after everything you did to her.
Oh, yeah. We broke her heart like 1,000 times.
Yeah,
it's like our job now.
We wrote the scripts so emotional, and it's like Jamie's like, I can't do this. I just can't. And it's like, yeah, Jamie, you need a break. We broke your heart too many times. But I'll just go on what we are and what we do here at Stark Actors on the Airwaves. We are radio drama on the air. We get scripts every week, and we just read for characters, write for characters. And if you'd like to take part in this, we've got like Facebook, Twitter. What's our Facebook, Christina?
Oh, Stark Actors on the Airwaves. We also have a Twitter account, which is at Stark Actors WRMU. And Georgia has I'm gonna sponsor you, bro.
Oh no.
Georgia has a t-shirt thing that she draws for, and you can buy shirts from her. You could probably ask for commissions too.
Yeah.
And she'll draw you whatever you want on your shirt and stuffs. So that we also have an email.
Yeah, that's
which is Stark Actors.
Not the email. The shirt store is Gemworks.
It's on the Facebook page.
Yeah, Gemworks, that Spreadshirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
If you want to go to that.
Okay.
But as you were saying.
Okay, so I gotta stop texting Ty.
Yeah, but if you'd like to make creative contributions, if you'd like us to read something you wrote on the show, just hit us up on Facebook. It's like, hey, I wrote the script, and we'll look it over, and if it's good, we'll be like, hey, yeah.
Or you could write it with us.
Yeah, if you want to write with any of us, just say, hey, I want to write with Christina, or hey, I want to write with Georgia, or we're up for that too. So just hit us up. We're open for anything.
So our first script is called Liam Meet Aiden, written by Georgia McCartney. Georgia, tell us a little bit about the script before we start.
Okay, so we've got these 2 characters. Well, 3 characters, actually. Liam, Aiden, and Abigail. Who I'd really just like to go over as Liam and Abigail. They've been on previous scripts before. And Liam is like this guy that talks a mile a minute and like never shuts up. And Abigail is this girl who was born mute. So it's just fun to see how they interact. And the 2 of them met one day at the mall, and they exchanged numbers. And then this is them just kind of meeting again. For previous listeners, if you guys were listening, we did have one where Abigail and Aiden met. So this is like a treat.
I'm giving a shout out to Ty right now because she says she's listening.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, Ty.
I just did. And I just sent that text too.
That's awesome.
Hi, guy. Hi, bro. I love you. Okay. We're going to start this?
Yes.
This is Stark Actors on the Airwaves. Every person in this work of fiction, living or dead, no resemblance, don't sue us.
Oh,
we love you.
The characters,
I get the gist of it.
The characters in this work are purely fictional. Any resemblance to people living or dead is purely coincidental. Don't sue us.
We English.
We English really good. What?
We love you. Don't forget that bit.
We love you. Don't sue us.
Okay.
I say that all the time.
Liam Meet Aiden, written by Georgia McCartney. Here we go.
Liam sat at his favorite cafe listening to his MP3 player and eating lunch. He was working on some homework, and this place always relaxed him. He hummed along to one of his favorite songs that was playing. All of a sudden, he felt his earbud come out. He looked over to see where it had fallen so he could put it back in his ear. But when he did, he was met with the sight of his crush, Abigail. She had taken out his left earbud and was listening to it herself. She had a huge smile on her face.
Abby, when did you get here?
Abigail tilted her head and pointed excitedly to the earbud. She wouldn't stop smiling and pointing.
Oh, you really like that song? I do too. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Abigail took out the earbud and nodded quickly. She pointed to the seat across from Liam and smiled.
Sure. No one's sitting there. Go ahead.
The young girl clapped her hands together, obviously pleased. She pulled up the chair and had a seat. Then Abigail pulled out her whiteboard and pink marker, popping the pink cap off with her thumb.
I'm so happy I ran into you, and I didn't know you liked Aiden's music.
Liam paused for a moment and read the board. He looked down at his MP3 player. The screen flashed, Voice by A. Blaze.
I'm happy to see you too. You surprised me, but, in a good way. And anyway, yeah, I like his music a lot. Wait, so Aiden, is that the musician's first name? That would explain the A in A Blaze.
Abigail was practically jumping up and down in her seat.
Oh, what are you excited about? Tell me, did something good happen? I don't know why you're so excited, but just watching him is making me more excited.
Abigail calmed down enough to write on her board again.
I know the musician Aiden Blaze personally. You should go to one of his concerts. We should go to one of his concerts together.
You what? I mean, you do? How? I mean, he's pretty famous, isn't he? Just, wow. Abigail, wow. Really? I can't believe it. That's amazing.
Abigail nodded happily.
Here, I'll show you proof. I helped him write the song you're listening to now.
Liam was stunned. He knew Abigail was a girl of many talents, but he never knew she was this talented, or even that she was a songwriter, and for someone so famous, no less. He felt his heart beat faster as Abigail pulled out her phone and loaded a web page. She pulled up an official information page that held all the details of the song they were just listening to. She slid the phone towards Liam. He picked it up, and there, plain as day, was his proof. Right next to the title of the song was the author's line. There sat the name, Aiden A. Blaze, right next to Abigail's.
Whoa, Abigail, that's incredible. I'm stunned. How come you never told me this before?
Abigail shrugged and wrote on her board.
Well, I don't mention it right away because I want people to know me as Abigail, not some celebrity songwriter.
Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense now that you mention it. So, do you know this Aiden then personally? What's he like?
Abigail nodded happily.
He's very talented, and he's a big sweetheart.
Liam felt his heart sink. Did Abigail maybe like this Aiden fellow? Like? Great. How on earth was he ever going to compete with a rock star? Crap. He then looked up at Abigail. She had a new message on her board.
Want to go to his concert this weekend? I could introduce you to.
What? Really, Abigail? That concert has been sold out for a month. I gave up on trying to score tickets a long time ago.
Yes, really? Well, I'm pretty sure it'll be all right. Here, I'll shoot him a text real quickly.
This was unbelievable. Not only did Abigail write songs with this musician, but she also had his personal cell phone number? No flippin' way. Liam gulped. He wasn't sure what to think about all this. He was super excited to see Aiden Blaze in concert, and in person no less. But he was a bit sad to think that Abigail might have another guy in mind. Just then, Abigail's phone went off. She grinned and flipped it around so Liam could see.
Sure, I can make arrangements for you and your guest. Heck, if you guys want to come backstage, you're welcome to. See you then, Abby.
Liam just sat there. This Aiden was super friendly. Seriously. And he called Abigail by her pet name, too. Shoot, this wasn't looking too good for him. But nevertheless, he was still a big fan of Aiden's music, and he wanted to see him in concert really badly. So he decided to go anyway. And hey, at least he'd get to see what kind of person he was firsthand, and at least wish him and Abigail well.
Wow, thanks, Abigail. So, want to do lunch Saturday and go see him after that?
Abigail grinned.
Sounds like a great plan.
The lunch went well between Abigail and Liam. As they drove to the concert, Liam couldn't help but wear a slight frown. He was still worried about this whole thing. Abigail noticed, and she wanted to talk to him, but she couldn't have Liam look over at her board while he was driving. So the two of them just sat there. However, when Liam did glance over, Abigail wore a big smile that helped put him at ease. When the two arrived at the concert, it was packed. People were elbow to elbow, but Abigail didn't seem to mind. She was rocking out to every song and having a grand time. Liam even let himself go for a few times, too. He got lost in the music he had liked so much and really started to enjoy it. Right before the last song started, Abigail began tugging tightly on Liam's sleeve.
What is it, Abigail?
She excitably cupped her hand to her ear and pointed to Liam, telling him that she wanted him to listen up. He nodded and looked up at the stage. There stood Aiden, without any shoes on for some reason. He grabbed the mic and began talking.
Hey everyone, thanks again for coming tonight. I appreciate it more than you could ever know. And now, to close with a personal favorite of mine, Voice. This one goes out especially to my co-author Abigail and our very special guest Liam Rockwell. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Liam's mouth dropped open. He looked over at Abigail, astounded.
No way!
Abigail held up her board.
Yes, Way. Now dance with me.
Liam blushed and began to dance with Abigail. It felt good to let loose and have a fun time. And after that last song, Liam and Abigail were let backstage just as promised. A woman with dark skin and very stylish clothes greeted Abigail.
Oh, Abby, good to see you, and your wonderful smiling face again. Come on back with your little friend.
Liam wasn't exactly little. He was 20 years old, and this woman didn't look much older than he was. 25, maybe? Abigail nodded happily and grabbed Liam's hand and led him further in. Just then, they saw Aiden. He was sitting down and taking a drink from a water bottle. Abigail then jumped up and down and ran to him. The two then embraced each other.
Abby, thanks for coming to see me.
Meanwhile, Liam stood awkwardly back. He wasn't sure what to do. This guy was on a whole different level than him. Famous, bold, confident, and a musician. Chicks always went for the musicians, didn't they? Liam fiddled with his braid until he spotted Abigail motioning for him to come closer. Liam perked up and began walking. Oh man, this was it. This was the guy behind all that awesome music he enjoyed so much. He felt his heart racing. What was he going to say? Aiden smiled and stuck out his hand.
I'm Aiden. It's nice to meet you, Liam Rockwell.
Liam energetically shook Aiden's hand.
Oh my gosh, Mr. Ablaze. I mean Aiden. It's Aiden, isn't it? Is it okay if I call you Aiden? I mean, if you just introduce... You just introduce... I can't speak. You just introduced yourself as Aiden, so I'm guessing it's okay. So I can't tell you how big of a fan I am of yours. Your work is simply amazing as well as inspiring. And oh man, I'm just so grateful of you announcing a song just for Abigail and I. You're really nice, you know that? So what's your favorite thing about your job? Wait, I mean, being a musician. What do you... What got you into music and why do you like it so much and what inspires you?
Aiden just stood there. He blinked his ice blue eyes as he stared at Liam for a moment.
Yes.
Yes what? Yes, you always wanted to be a musician? Yes, you view it as a job and not really a hobby? Yes, you're glad I'm your fan? Yes... What, man?
Hey, I'm sorry. Could you repeat yourself?
Sure. I asked you if it was okay if I called you by your first name Aiden instead of Mr. or your last name or your stage name Ablaze. I also said I was a really big fan of yours. You really inspire me, and I really appreciate that you announced a song of voice for Abigail and I. And I also want to let you know about a big musician that inspires you personally.
Aiden remained standing there. He looked at Liam and he frowned. Aiden looked over at Abigail. She nodded and tugged Liam's shoulder. Liam looked over and Abigail gestured to the ramp off stage.
All right, I understand. We should go.
Abigail frowned and walked away with Liam. Once they were out of earshot of Aiden, Liam spoke up.
Oh, Abigail, I'm sorry. I blew it. I don't think your boyfriend likes me. Wait, not your boyfriend. Or he is a boy and he is your friend. But is he your boyfriend? Do you like him, Abby? I'll understand if you do. I mean, he's like all out of this world. He's got talent coming out of his ears. Abby,
Liam then felt a squeeze on his hand. Abigail clutched his hand and smiled. She wrote on her board.
Liam, it's okay. Aiden's not my boyfriend. He's my best friend. Besides, there's someone else who I like.
Oh my gosh, who is it? Is it like a famous painter or a skydiver or something? No, maybe a rock climber or a lion tamer. Or a monster truck driver, or...
Abigail blushed and lightly tapped Liam's chest with her board. She then wrote on it.
It's you, Liam. I like you.
Liam blushed a bright shade of red.
Really? No way. Seriously? You're not teasing me, are you?
Abigail shook her head.
But Abby.
Abigail cocked her head to the side.
But Abigail, I really like you too.
Abigail blushed and hugged Liam. He hugged her back. But I really like you too? But? Gosh, what was he saying half the time? Liam smiled and squeezed Abigail tighter. He was happy to know there was at least someone out there who knew what he was saying. Just then, he felt a tap on his shoulder. It was Aiden, and he was out of breath.
Hey, look, I'm sorry for, earlier, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but I need to tell you something. Something, that I don't tell a lot of people. I didn't want to see you all upset like that and just have you leave with that frown on your face, you know?
Oh, okay. What is it?
Liam said as he slowly released Abigail. Abigail gave Aiden a look as if to ask him if he was sure of what he was about to do. She moved her lips slightly. Aiden nodded to reassure her that he was positive he wanted to do this.
Okay, Liam, look. Back there, you spoke, like, really, really, really fast. And I mean, I tried to communicate with you, but I...
Aiden nervously ran some fingers through his hair and then looked at Abigail.
All right, here. You know how one of the ways Abigail communicates is through a little whiteboard there?
Yeah?
Well, I communicate through reading lips, and I couldn't talk to you very well because you were moving your lips too fast for me to get a good reading. You see, I'm deaf, Liam.
Liam stood there, flabbergasted. For once he was at a loss for words.
So you do all that music, even though you can't hear it, and you and Abigail...
I can read her lips as if she was speaking to me and speak a verbal response back to her for her to hear. That's why she doesn't have to use her board around me, and also we can both use sign language. In fact, that's when we met. It was in sign language class.
Whoa. All I can really say is that, well, both of you are really incredible, and it's really an honor to have met you, Aiden. Thanks. Thank you for telling me the truth. It really, I don't know, I just appreciate it a lot.
I'm glad you're cool with it, and but I'm going to have to ask you to keep it a secret. I don't really want it getting out. It could, well, ruin my career again.
Liam wasn't exactly sure what Aiden was talking about, but he nodded and agreed anyway.
Oh, don't worry, Aiden. I won't tell anyone else about it. You can count on me.
I know I can. If you're a special friend of Abby's, then you can be trusted.
Liam looked over at Abigail and smiled softly. She returned the gesture.
Well, I need to get going. My manager, Piper, is going to help me sign a few autographs.
Aiden patted Liam on the shoulder.
Thanks again for coming, and
Aiden looked at both Abigail and Liam.
treat Abby right, okay?
Liam blushed. Aiden knew? Did he read their lips when he came up, or was it the body language that gave it away? He glanced at Abigail's board. It still had the message telling Liam that she liked him on it. Ah, that would do it. Liam shot up straight and saluted Aiden.
I'll do my best.
I'm glad to know that. Hopefully I'll see you both again soon. Have Abby give you my email or something. That might work better for the both of us.
Aiden walked off smiling. Liam smiled too and looked at Abigail. She held out her hand. Liam gulped and grabbed it. He was a little nervous, but he was still smiling. The two then walked.
I died of feels at the end. Oh my goodness! I can't get enough of being Liam.
Yeah.
I
were
was
really
so
good.
I was being so fast. I was mumbling myself.
Yeah,
I was like, I
It
can't
was
do
in
this.
character, though.
It was like I really believed you were this awkward British guy trying to talk to the deaf musician. I really believed
It was
it.
very realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really hard for me not to like laugh.
I
Yeah.
know.
Sometimes I would like
You
keep
all
it in.
I'm so glad you put in my little giggles because remember
Yeah,
the
his
last time
awkward
you put in one ha 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 and I went
Yeah.
and you're like that's it man that's it.
That's Liam. That is awkward Liam right there.
Oh, Virgilia and Clarice. I don't know. You might know about this. I have a character named Clinton Rockwell.
Oh, yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like 40-something. He has like green hair and a braid.
Uh-huh.
And we decided that they were gonna be cousins.
Just-
and he's his younger cousin.
Yeah.
And
Because I showed you the picture and he had a braid too, and you're like,
he looks like Clinton.
I'm like, they could be cousins. It's canon,
canon.
now.
And then so that's why he had the like that last name Rockwell. And I was like, oh my baby.
Yeah, so it's like a shout out. Yeah. But yeah, you guys all did really well. You were a great
You do have a
narrator.
really great radio voice.
Yeah,
You do.
You were all nervous, and you're like, I don't know if I can do
You were
this.
perfect,
And
man.
you
Oh,
were
I was
perfect.
just trying to cause trouble for you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. And Clarice, you did good too.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you make a good Abigail. And
Oh my goodness,
Elizabeth is
Georgia.
good too.
It was so
But
cute.
just don't think about it yet. We're not there yet. But yeah, let's hear you guys' thoughts.
This is really exciting, especially because, I mean, you guys knew
Yeah.
what was happening.
Yeah.
'cause you read it.
I
But I
actually
didn't.
She,
Oh,
'cause
you
she-
didn't?
She, it was like when I read, I'll do my best. I was like, I'm done.
she had her head
I
on
know,
her desk.
It's interesting, like, reading it, and then I'm like, oh my god, what's happening?
Aw.
What?
Yeah, we've had people like read ahead. They're like reading ahead, and it's like it's your line. Stop reading ahead.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Or like Elizabeth, she'd be reading ahead, and then she looked at us like, I hate you.
yeah.
Yes.
She would give us
That
like
happens periodically.
like ice daggers. It's like we're sorry. Actually, we're not.
We're
not.
It's alright, I'll get my revenge.
So what do you guys think about the story? You like it? Like the characters?
Oh, it was freaking adorable.
It was so unbelievably adorable.
It was. I think that was your biggest level of cute. Sorry, you guys.
Oh,
go
thank you. Thank
I'm
you.
so glad I got to experience that then.
I'm glad.
Cute.
I'm glad you guys had
on.
fun.
Oh, you already said.
I like how I'm like nodding because I'm like people will see that I'm not, but they won't. I'm just like I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
No,
well,
I
Virginia
really
agrees.
liked it. Like I said, because I didn't know the story, like
Yeah.
reading along with it, especially as a narrator, I'm like, what's going on?
I know. When I read that she still had that on her board, I was like, that's adorable.
Oh, yeah, that just came to me. I was
Need to
writing
take a
this and
picture
like,
of that.
yeah,
You
yeah. I
need
was
to
just,
draw that.
I do.
You do.
I was just writing it
Look
out
at that,
and
more work for you to draw.
I know, right? I'll just put it on my other pile of drawings.
See this shirt I'm wearing? She drew that.
I
you
was
see that,
admiring
audience?
that.
Yes.
Absolutely awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. But yeah, can you see that, audience? No, you
No,
can't.
you can't.
But yeah, it's
You'll
it's
have to
funny.
mention
we
it. It's
can we
epic.
can describe it to you if you want, but I don't think they would.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we
In great
got my
detail.
shirt store up on the Facebook page if they want to go and get shirts like
I
that
can't
that I
witness
make.
this epicness.
Yeah, because that's the one of a kind. You got
Yeah.
that. But yeah,
It's
if they want to
mine.
get other
Other
shirts that I make
shirts.
though. But yeah, I'm gonna ask you though, Virgilia, did you know Aiden was deaf?
No, I didn't. So it was like, what? What just happened? What? Huh? Oh my god.
Well, wait, I my favorite part, I just have to show this, is where like Liam's like talking to Violet and he's like blah, 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 and
I
then
totally messed that up, but I'm so sorry.
it's okay,
No,
it's
it's
okay,
perfect.
it's okay. It was
It
pretty
worked
perfect.
perfectly.
It worked. But
Like, and you
Aiden's just
stuck with it.
yeah, Aiden's just like yes.
Yes, I love that part. When I read that, I was like, that's so cute.
My favorite part
Yes.
was Abigail and Liam figuring out that they liked each other because I like their characters so much. And I was so excited for that.
I'm glad. Oh, thanks for sharing. That was good.
Thanks for sharing. Sorry.
Yes. Get out of here with your movies. But yeah, any closing comments before we move on to the next script?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm asking
well, great
Ty if
job.
she liked. Ty, did you like the Abigail and Liam script? I read it out loud. I don't know if yeah.
There's always a bit of a lag.
Yeah.
No,
Listening.
she's listening it on her phone. Yeah, there probably is a lag.
Ah, well.
Anyway.
Lag in
Okay.
real life? I thought lag
Yeah.
only happened in games.
On the link, it's
Yeah.
laggy.
Okay. So, you want to help me explain this, Christina?
Yes,
because
I'll help
I need
explain.
help.
I'll
I need
explain.
help. I got
I'll
problems.
Explain this one since you wrote the other one.
Okay, thanks.
Anyway, this one. Since we
This
love
one.
Quinn and Russell so much, Elizabeth, you are gonna kill us.
I am going to kill you.
You are.
Um,
Or at least expect it.
This is gonna be how you have to keep for like police records. It's like, okay, this is like the
what
last.
happened.
I'll delete the recording.
This is her confession.
and your party were heard of.
Oh my goodness.
Don't go get murdered, guys, because then I'm gonna get blamed for it.
Okay.
Okay, we
We
won't.
won't go any dark alleys.
Oh man, there goes our plans for tonight.
I know. Anyway, so we're like, man, when we wrote the last one that Clarice was here for, and Elizabeth, we were all like, man, this is the last one, dude. What are we gonna do?
Oh, just to let everyone know, we've been writing ongoing stories with our two characters, Quinn and Russell. So
And
we
they'll
wrote
give
the
us
last
synopsis.
I know. I'm gonna tell them.
No, I gotta interrupt you,
But
bro.
we've been writing them for about like a month or two.
Yeah, I'd
A
say
month and a half. I don't know. But we had this ongoing story of like 7 or 8 stories. I don't even know.
I
But
think 7 parts.
we didn't want it to end. And they were like, let's just make an alternate ending from last week where some of the stuff happened, like the very beginning, and then it's different.
Yes.
And then, so that's
Yeah.
what we did.
Oh.
And then when we were writing it, we're like, this is even better than the first one.
I know, right? We're
Okay,
so
you say
creative.
more.
We were so creative. But well, what happened was, I think we were writing the first ending, and then I think as we were writing it, I drew out this picture, and it was just kind of me being silly, and I'm like, hey, Christina, what if this happens? And you're like, let's make that happen. And I'm like, whoa, seriously? And I'm like, okay, this will just be for fun, right? And you're like, yeah, for fun.
No, we totally put it on air.
Yeah, and then they're like, we're gonna put this on air. And then I'm like, really? I don't know if we can. And you're like, no, this is going on
No,
air.
it's really good, dude.
Oh,
I don't know why you
thanks.
think it's weird.
I don't know. I just
No,
feel like
good.
I'm a big, creepy,
Wait, are we
sweaty
talking
guy.
about this one?
Yes,
Oh
connection.
dear, now I'm like worried.
No.
It's really good.
It is really good.
I'm hearing mixed reviews.
Okay, well, you'll just have to see for yourself. But
George
feel
is
like-
just too innocent and thinks this is weird, and it's not.
And I'm just angry because of what's going to happen in it.
yes.
Oh, and you know. You kind of know,
You
don't
kind of
you?
know, because I was freaking out. I'm like,
Even all
Elizabeth,
these
am I
opinions,
weird?
I'm still like,
It's okay. You'll like it.
Yeah, but I'm
So-
like, Elizabeth, am I weird? Am I some sweet, creepy, sweaty guy in their mom's basement? And she's like, no, if anybody lives in basements, it's me. I'm like, okay. So I was showing her, so she partially knows about this, but I'll let you talk.
Okay, so I'm gonna explain to Virgilia and a little bit to Clarice. Clarice saw the last one. I was crying.
Synopsis, or?
No, of our
Oh.
characters first.
All
Yes.
the emotions.
Yes, the emotions.
I'm glad I'm not emotional.
Right. But yeah.
Quinn is a con man.
Yeah.
Who's done it all his life, and all he knows how to do is steal things and sell it again for more money. And he seems like a bad guy, but really he's not.
He's not a bad guy. He's actually a nice guy. He's just got a bad habit, I'd say.
Yeah.
That's how Russell and his girlfriend Rosanna view him.
I mean, do you want me to read the synopsis when we're done explaining our characters? And then we can
Yeah.
start.
Yeah,
Okay, then you now you explain Russell to them.
Okay, Russell is... Would you say he's a loose cannon, Elizabeth? Because we were saying that...
I mean, he's a little bit of a loose cannon, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a loose cannon.
Yeah. He's a big hodgepodge of, like, a lot of things. He's crazy, but he's nice.
He's a derp.
Yes, he's very silly.
Like you.
Yes, he is kind of like me in a few ways, but he's nice. He's a nice guy deep down, even though he might come off as a little rough around the edges.
Silly.
Yeah, silly, goofy. Most people are like, man, you're a goofball. I'm not really gonna talk to you. And he's like, fine, I don't need you. I really do come back. Somebody love me.
Okay. So, I'm gonna read the synopsis, and then when we're ready, we'll start.
Okay.
So here's the
Sounds
synopsis. I'm gonna say it in a really dramatic voice.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
Russell Ramiro is a journalist who uses his powers of time travel to prevent disasters. Quinn is a con man who has been stealing for longer than he can remember. However, the two of these men became unlikely friends. When Russell found out about Quinn's thievery, he wasn't happy, but he sympathized with Quinn and tried to help him turn over a new leaf. It went well for a while, but then Quinn cracked it and stole a painting. Russell went back in time to stop him. Quinn didn't steal the painting, but he fled the scene and Russell was suspected as a thief instead. That was the last the two saw of each other for a while. Time passed and Russell met a young boy named Cornelius who wanted Russell to use his powers to help save his mother. The two were successful in saving her, but Russell himself was met with a terrible fate.
Done.
Done!
So, does anyone have any questions before we start off? Because the audience might have, like, the same questions.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
Well,
You gotta see.
Can't answer that one.
And is it just me? But as soon as I heard Cornelius, I was like, Meet the Robinson.
Oh, good movie.
yeah.
Any questions?
Any more?
No, I think I'm.
Alrighty then.
Okay. Wow. I
was
understood
good.
that pretty well because I was flipping out and I'm like, man, nobody's gonna understand this.
My deep dramatic voice. This is Stark Actors on the Airways, WRMU 91.1. This is Connection, written by Georgia McCartney and Christine Zordich.
Oh gosh, here it goes.
I know.
Hey, can you give me the time?
The stranger just walked past Russell, quite literally refusing to give Russell the time of day. As they walked away, Russell lowered his outstretched arm. He sighed and looked around. The man wasn't sure where he was. He didn't have a watch or cell phone on him, and there was no payphone in sight. And if he asked for a phone, people just ignored him. Well, more so than usual. He scratched his head and tried to think of what to do. Where was his car? Where was his apartment? Russell was running out of options. Just then he spied some people getting on a bus at a stop. Russell decided to get on too. Maybe they'd stop by some place he recognized, and then he could get his bearings. Meanwhile, Quinn was finishing up his last bit of packing. He bit his lip as he counted his boxes, making sure that all of the important things were packed away. He never really had much, considering he was always on the move. He needed to go out and get a few more boxes. A few of them were tearing apart from being moved around so much. Maybe he'd stop being so cheap and finally buy those plastic containers instead. He stepped outside his apartment and locked his door, taking his time to walk down the stairs. He knew that this would be one of the last times that he would ever walk them. The brunette stopped outside, seeing the busy city around him. He walked with his hands in his pockets to the bus stop, enjoying the sun as he walked. He sat down at the bus stop and looked at his watch.
Maybe I'm early.
The bus Russell was on then stopped at the next stop. Russell got off with the crowd. As he got off, he started to recognize a few things, like a place he had been out to eat before, but he still wasn't sure how to get home. Just then, something familiar caught his eye. There, sitting on a bench, was Quinn. Russell couldn't help himself.
Quinn!
Russell weaved in between people and ran to where Quinn was, but as he arrived at the bench, Quinn didn't seem to notice him either. What the heck? Was he ignoring him too? Why? Why was everyone doing that? Especially Quinn, of all people. Perhaps he didn't want to see him. Russell felt his spirits take a dive. Well, the fact remained that he still didn't know where he was. Russell decided to take a seat next to Quinn and collect his thoughts. Hopefully something would start making sense soon. Quinn looked down at the cement as he waited for the bus. He heard it stop and fiddled with his sleeve, rolling them down before he got on the bus. There was a sudden chill in the air, which was odd because it was so bright and sunny before. He stood up from the bench and looked at the sky, wondering if a storm was coming. Russell watched in distress as he saw Quinn get up. Okay, so not only was he ignoring him, but he was planning to leave without saying anything either? Geez, how angry could he possibly be? Quinn started walking toward the bus. Russell furrowed his brow and spoke up.
Quinn, why are you ignoring me? Come on, I thought we had each other's backs. I mean, and honestly, I don't care how angry you could possibly be with me.
Russell then lurched forward and tried to grab Quinn's shoulder.
At least keep speaking to me.
Just as Russell placed his hand on Quinn's shoulder, it slipped right through him. Not off of him, through him. Russell's hand was submerged in Quinn's back. In surprise, Russell let out a scream as he quickly took back his hand.
What's going on here?
Russell yelled as he stumbled and fell to the ground. Quinn felt the breeze hit his shoulder, and he adjusted his blazer so that his neck was warm. Then he heard his name being called. He stopped walking. No, it wasn't anything. No one was there who knew him. The voice grew louder and louder, and he closed his eyes and shook his head, getting it out of his mind. It sounded like Russell. It was probably because he wanted the man to forgive him for what he did. He imagined so many times that what Russell would say to him. All of his imaginary Russells said nice things. The real one probably wouldn't. Then he turned around, wondering if anyone else felt this sudden chill. Instead, he saw Russell on the ground. Wait, Russell?
Russell, what are you doing here? I didn't see you there. I'm so sorry. My mind was in another place. Why are you on the ground?
Russell looked up at Quinn with wide eyes. Quinn offered Russell a hand up.
So you weren't ignoring me? You're not angry with me? You just didn't see me?
Russell began to reach for Quinn's extended hand.
I'm not sure what's going on or where exactly I am, but I do know I'm glad to see you.
As Russell tried to take Quinn's hand, his own phased right through his friend's. Russell quickly jerked back his hand. He stared at it with quivering eyes. He looked at it, and then back up at Quinn, hoping maybe he had some answers. Quinn was just as shocked as Russell was, it seemed.
Wait, what's going on? Are you... Am I imagining you?
Quinn stood up straight so no one would look at him funny. He furrowed his brows and looked down at Russell. Russell frowned.
Imagining me? Imagining me. Of course you're not. I'm as real can be. I mean, well, maybe. I don't think you are. Are you? I mean, I feel like myself. Well, kinda.
Russell quickly touched his hands, chest, and face. They felt solid to him, at least. But why wasn't he able to touch Quinn? This was what felt weird. Quinn's eyes widened. He looked up at the bus, deciding that it wasn't worth it to take anymore. He returned his gaze to Russell.
What happened? Where were you last? Hey, what's my darkest secret? Because if you know that, then you're definitely an illusion or something, and I'm not going crazy with grief. Maybe you're not real, and you're just a part of me in my head, and maybe you don't want to be forgotten about. Is this what this is about?
Where was I last, indeed? I don't remember. I honestly don't. I remember something. Something very, very painful.
Russell rubbed his back.
But I don't remember where that pain came from, or where I was when it happened. And your darkest secret? Well, we both know each other's darkest secrets. I mean, yours is the whole con man thing, and mine is... Wait a minute, what is mine? Why can't I remember it? I know it's there, but I'm blanking out. I know it's there.
Russell looked up at Quinn.
But why are you grieving? And of course I don't want to be forgotten about. I mean, why would I want you to forget me, Quinn? I don't want to forget you. You're my friend.
Quinn furrowed his brow again as the other man tried his hardest to remember. He wanted to tell Russell that he thought he had lost him as a friend, and that he thought they would never speak again, but a crazy thought popped into his head.
Wait a minute. Your hand...
It wasn't anything about his powers, was it? And if it was, Russell didn't even remember.
You're a time traveler, remember? Now, did you go back in time so that we never met, or some weird stuff is happening in this universe, or what? Because I'm seriously creeped out right now.
A time traveler. You're right. I am a time traveler. That's my secret. Wait. I shouldn't say that so loud. We're only supposed to tell people we trust. Oh, now I remember. I remember telling you. Wait. Going back in time so we never met. You're right. I did almost do that. The night you told me you were a con man. But I didn't. Why didn't I again? I mean, I was so shocked. But I remember I didn't go back and change the day we met. Well, okay. So I can at least remember that much. I mean, in fact, if I did do that, you wouldn't recognize me right now. So there. Ha! At least something makes sense now.
Russell then got to his feet, but something was off. He looked at Quinn.
Hey, did you get shorter? I'm only supposed to be a bit taller than you.
Quinn's mouth fell open when he noticed that Russell's feet weren't touching the ground. What on earth was going on?
I didn't get shorter. You're floating. Why are you floating? I didn't believe in ghost stories, but this is really freaking me out. Why are you tormenting me?
Russell looked down when Quinn pointed to his feet.
No way!
He tried to grab onto Quinn so he could pull himself down, but just like before, his hands went right through him.
You don't think I'm a ghost, do you? Quinn, I'm not a ghost, right?
Quinn nodded a little when Russell asked if he was a ghost. Russell sank to his knees.
No. There was so much I wanted to do. So much I wanted to say. This can't be the end.
He violently shook his head. Quinn's heart ached when Russell sank to his knees, pleading for time he may never get back.
If I'm gone, who's going to look after you and Rosanna? No, I didn't even get to say goodbye to her. Or wait, did I? I don't know, Quinn. I don't know.
So wait, Russell had no recollection of what happened, if it was something in the time rift, or if he actually was dead.
Do you think we should call Rosanna? Maybe she knows what's going on. Maybe you saw her last.
That's right. You have your phone. We could call her. But... Actually, maybe we shouldn't call her. I don't want you to have to break the news to her. But I need to know what's going on. I don't even remember dying.
Russel then got up, slightly hovering again.
Look, here's what I want you to do. Call her up. Make small chat. Ask her how she's doing. Then mention me. But don't say I'm a ghost, okay? Just tell her that you had a great time when we all hung out at that coffee shop and that I never shut up about her.
Quinn frowned as Russel spoke, sounding like the man who was going to cry. Quinn nodded and reached for his phone in his blazer pocket.
All right, but first, let's get away from this bus stop and somewhere safer where not many people can hear us.
He turned and walked down the street for a bit and dialed the phone for Rosanna.
Please, oh please, pick up.
Russel hovered and followed Quinn. He paused when he did. He then floated next to the phone so he could hear too. After a few rings, the two men heard a familiar voice.
Hello, Quinn.
How are you doing? I was just checking up on you.
Hopefully she wasn't angry with him and had the patience to not hang up on him. They were relying on Rosanna for important information. Quinn needed to be calm for Russel's sake. If Rosanna hung up, they would both be so out of luck. Rosanna paused. She wasn't really sure what Quinn was up to, but she decided to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm still on my business trip. Thanks for asking. Are you doing okay too, Quinn?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I was packing up my things, getting ready to move out. I wanted to see Russell one last time, though. Is his phone off? Do you know if he's mad at me? He could be blocking my calls.
Russel's mouth fell open when he heard about Quinn moving. Quinn was going to move? Without telling him? Why? He was just about to ask when he stopped himself. He'd ask later. He didn't want to interrupt Quinn or Rosanna. This was important. He did look at Quinn with sad eyes, though.
No, I don't think he's mad at you. That guy loves you like a brother, considering all that he's... You do know what he just did for you, right? The last I heard, he had just got out of prison.
Quinn furrowed his brow and turned to Russell, not even able to process the compliment about being a brother. He was too distracted, wondering how he didn't know. He tried to cover up the receiving end of the phone.
Prison? No one mentioned you were in prison. Was that my doing?
No one told me either. I didn't know I was in prison. I thought I was an illegal eagle. Wait. In prison! Oh, but I didn't do anything. Oh, right. Ooh. Yeah, it did kind of involve you. The police showed up that night at the museum when you tried to steal the painting, and they, kind of thought I was you. The thief, that is.
Russell rubbed his chin.
Oh, now I know what Rosanna is talking about. I called her after I just fooled that lie detector. Wait, could I have died then? I remember slowing down my heart rate so I could bend the truth.
Russell put his hand to his chest. He didn't feel anything.
No. I couldn't have died then, since I just called Rosanna afterwards. Well, I'm still confused, but at least I remember that much.
Quinn continued looking at Russell as he spoke, nodding his head as he listened. He felt awful for having Russell be caught, but he felt a sigh of relief when he knew that wasn't how he died.
Wait, what? You can slow down your heart rate? You never told me that. But you did that for me? And you could have died?
Hey. I didn't remember that, honestly, until like 5 seconds ago. Bear with me here, Quinn. And even if I did sooner, all I wanted to do was talk to you again. I yell at you for the past. And yeah, I did do that. It was dangerous. But I did it to protect you. The police wanted to know who the real thief was.
Russell tried to bear a smile. He didn't want Quinn to feel guilty about what happened. All he wanted was for them to still be friends, and for Quinn preferably find another hobby that wasn't stealing.
But hey, we have proof that I didn't croak then, so, there.
Quinn? Are you still there? Did you hang up or something?
Buddy, if you had a body right now, I'd hug you.
Quinn said before turning back to the phone. He didn't know what else to say, and his only way of expressing how he felt was through touch, and yet he couldn't even do that.
Oh, yeah, I'm still here. Sorry about that.
Russell's fake smile faded and was replaced by a genuine one. Quinn's remark sounded so odd, but it made Russell feel comforted and at ease. If ghosts could cry, he was pretty sure he would be getting misty-eyed right about now.
Oh, it's all right. So, I'm guessing he didn't tell you about that whole prison thing?
No, he didn't.
It figures. That's just like him. But Quinn, hear me out and don't you dare leave town without saying goodbye to Russell. He'd be heartbroken. And shucks, I'd personally be a little upset with you too. So keep trying his phone, and if it still doesn't work, shoot him an email.
Quinn had to admit, hearing Rosanna say that Russell would be heartbroken without him saying goodbye made him feel at least a little at ease.
Yeah, I'll email him. Thanks, Rosanna.
Hey, Quinn, could you, help me with something before you hang up with Rosanna?
Quinn covered up the receiver once more. He looked at Russell with wide brown eyes.
Yeah, buddy? What is it?
May I borrow your voice? Look, I don't think Rosanna can hear me in my current state, so... You know, like in movies where a ghost overshadows someone, like... Could I do that real quick with you, Quinn? I just want to say goodbye to Rosanna. To set whatever I have left of mind at ease.
You mean, like, take over my body?
Quinn raised an eyebrow, thinking that it was slightly odd. He felt uncomfortable in his own body, and he would surely feel strange letting someone else use it. His biggest secret was also his biggest insecurity. He was very ashamed and embarrassed of his body. He thought he was too plain, too normal-looking, too hairy, too chubby. But if that was what he wanted, then he should do one last request for him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, Quinn. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it already. I hope this works. Well, I mean, I already got floating down, apparently, so... This can't be too different, right? Ugh, I have no idea.
Russell then stopped hovering and put both his feet on the ground. He then walked slowly forward to Quinn. He paused when he was within a few inches of the other man. He squeezed his eyes shut.
Here goes nothing!
The ghost of a man yelled as he took the final steps necessary. Quinn nodded and closed his eyes as he let Russell step into his body. Once Russell did, he felt weight again. He felt solid again. He felt Quinn's heart beating, racing actually. Russell figured he'd be quick about this. He didn't want to overstay his welcome. He could tell he was probably freaking Quinn out. It felt odd to Quinn to not be able to move himself. He could think still and see everything from his own eyes, but he had no control whatsoever. Without any more hesitation, Russell spoke to Rosanna using Quinn's voice.
Goodbye,
Rosanna.
Quinn felt his lips move as Russell spoke through him. This was some freaky stuff. He thought this was only in campfire stories and movies. Quinn wanted to say goodbye to Rosanna as well, but she would wonder why he said it twice. And besides, having Russell say it was much more important. Who knew the next time he could? When Rosanna heard the voice, a smile grew on her face. Even though it was Quinn's voice, the way he spoke reminded her of Russell. How he would speak softly when he said goodbye, or that he loved her. Her smile grew wider as she recalled the good memories of Russell.
Bye-bye.
With a slight nudge, Russell managed to move Quinn's hand and hang up the phone. Once he did, Russell used Quinn's lungs to breathe a sigh of relief. He then told Quinn's arm to place the phone back in his blazer pocket. That's where he saw him take it from anyway, and Quinn could fix it later if it wasn't right. Russell was leaving soon anyway, but before he left, Russell lifted Quinn's legs and moved him over to a nearby bench. He wasn't sure if Quinn would feel dizzy or off balance when he left him, so he wanted to make sure Quinn was sitting down. That way he wouldn't take a spill. Besides, Russell was in no condition to catch him or help him to his feet if that did happen. Russell gently sat Quinn down on the bench. Once Quinn was seated, Russell closed Quinn's eyes and focused once more. He then ceased his synchronization with Quinn. Russell stood up and walked slowly forward out of Quinn, becoming a ghost once more. Then Quinn, feeling a chill of cold air again and a breath leaving his body. Quinn's eyes returned to normal, and he looked up at the floating Russell.
Thanks, Quinn. That really meant a lot to me, and now I know for sure that I wished her well.
Russell hovered his hand slightly over Quinn's shoulder. He knew it would slip through if he tried to touch him, so this was the next best thing. Quinn held up his hand, trying his hardest to hold it, even though he knew he couldn't. Russell felt a small inkling of warmth on his cold and hollow body as Quinn tried to return the gesture of touch. Quinn remained seated, though. He felt a little drained.
No problem. Anything I can do to help. Speaking of help, how are we supposed to find out what happened? I mean, do you remember anymore? Did talking to Rosanna help or no? I'm not leaving the city until we both find out what happened to you.
Russell smiled at the sound of Quinn's words. It was nice to know that Quinn wanted to help Russell, just like Russell wanted to help Quinn.
I'm not sure how we should go about that, and I'm sorry, but I still don't remember if how or when I died, or at least how I ended up like this. I mean, talking to Rosanna helped me remember some things, like the painting and the prison deal. Look, I'm sorry I didn't tell you about that sooner, but I remember why I didn't before. I just didn't know how to bring it up. As lame as that sounds.
Russell then took a seat next to Quinn again. Russell watched as the ghost sat down next to him. It was so unreal. He wasn't dreaming all of this, was he?
But why were you gonna leave the city, man? Without even saying goodbye? Rosanna was right. I would be heartbroken. Well, if I still had a heart, that is.
Quinn paused a moment and sighed before replying, getting out a cigarette from his tin case.
I was gonna leave because I thought you never wanted to speak to me again. I didn't deserve the whole lie detector thing you did for me. Why would you risk yourself for some no good like me?
You're nervous. You're nervous, aren't you? You smoke when you're nervous. I remember now. You got nervous when you took that locket, and you got nervous when I told you I was a time traveler. And now you're nervous. Well, because of everything. Sorry, I wish I could be less freaky. And I guess I just wanted you to have a chance, you know? A chance to do something different, if that's what you really wanted. A chance to find something new you enjoyed, but I knew you never get to do that if you were in prison, so I wanted to help you, simply because I had the power to do so, and I wanted to see you succeed.
Quinn nodded when Russell asked if he was nervous. He lit a cigarette as Russell continued, taking a breath in and puffing the smoke out, not bothering to turn away from Russell when he did. Russell tried to wave the smoke away as Quinn spoke. True, he wasn't breathing it in, but Russell didn't like it obscuring his view of Quinn. He wanted to see how the other man was feeling.
I appreciate the offer, Russ, but I don't know if I deserve that kind of charity. Look at me. I'm here, alive, and not in prison, and I'm still unsure if I can really stop stealing. And I don't know if I can have a family or not. I never tried. You have more faith in me than anyone ever did.
Shucks. If we all got what we deserved, that'd suck. And it's more empathy than charity for you, Quinn. I mean, I feel for you, and I want to help you. Also, well, you never know until you try. And I want to see you try. And hey, you're my best friend, man. I can't help but see the good sides of you.
Quinn looked over at the other man and smiled.
Yeah? Well, I guess I didn't appreciate my own life until I saw that yours is gone. Or might be. Maybe you're like one of those ghosts in those movies. You know, like, you need to finish something before you can be in peace. So, in return for risking your life with that lie detector test, and for everything else,
Quinn placed the cigarette in his mouth and let out a hand.
I swear on my life and yours that once we get all of this sorted out, I'll never do another con ever again.
Russell just sat there for a minute, dumbfounded, as he realized the magnitude of what Quinn was saying. It hit him just now how much this promise meant to not only Quinn, but to himself as well. Russell smiled a soft, sentimental smile, and then grinned wide.
Wow. I can't express in words how much that means to me, buddy. All I can say is thank you. And I hope as much as you do that we get to the bottom of this and find out what happened to me. And on that note, I really hope I can stick around long enough to welcome you and your new hobby.
Quinn nodded with a smile, glad to hear that Russell understood the importance of his words and his determination. He honestly had no words for the man. The smile was all he would give as a thank you in return, for being there for him, for wanting to see him succeed. Russell looked over at Quinn's hand. He hovered his own hand next to Quinn's, and then he got an idea.
Hey, Quinn, could I maybe borrow you again? Just your arm this time, though.
Quinn raised an eyebrow at the question, but he could kind of see where this was going.
Yeah? Just my arm?
Yep, just your arm. The one you're not holding up.
Russell then scooted a bit closer to Quinn. He looked at Quinn's arm and focused. He then raised his own ghostly arm and slipped it swiftly into Quinn's solid arm. Quinn felt his arm grow cold once more, feeling lighter and just a little numb since it was the only part of him he couldn't control. Once Russell was in control of Quinn's arm, he raised it up gently.
High five to seal the deal?
Quinn looked at the hand that Russell possessed and shook his head.
You know, I was gonna ask you the same thing. Well, a handshake. And then I realized that it was impossible.
Quinn held up his hand.
Sure thing.
Up top.
Russell cheered as he tapped Quinn's hand against his other. Of course, it wasn't a real high five, but it felt good, that they were able to make the best of their situations and connect in their own special way.
The end.
The end.
Do you hate us, Elizabeth?
Yes.
I can't believe who said aw.
That wasn't me. Oh my gosh.
I can understand with the Liam and Aiden, but then I'm like,
well, no, I was like, I'm still stuck on the Rosanna part where he says goodbye and she doesn't know exactly.
We have a drawing outside of Georgia drew that.
oh yeah,
my
you're
God.
gonna have
Then
to see
she
that.
colored it and
I
put
did.
and Quinn has his entire body, and the only thing that's different about him is his eye color for Russell.
Yeah.
And I was like, goodbye, I'm done.
Yeah, I showed that to. I was flipping out, and I showed that to Elizabeth. I'm like, hey Elizabeth, look at this, and you're like,
Yeah,
I'm
so
done.
at least
I'm
I
done.
knew about that beforehand.
Yeah, you looked at it, you're like, I'm done. And Christina's like, you showed her the drawing? Has to be surprised, man. I'm like, I'm sorry, I was freaking out. But yeah, we should put that on the site.
Elizabeth, I'm so done face.
Yes. We have to have like a weekly Elizabeth I'm so done face.
I think they're set on killing you, Elizabeth.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, they killed Jamie first, and I'm next.
Yeah, man, if Jamie's listening in.
You should get one of me and you too.
Sure.
We're taking pictures live,
They're
guys.
sitting here taking
Yeah.
selfies, and
We
so
are.
I feel like we should be carrying on the conversation
Yeah,
while they're
do it.
busy.
Hey,
But
we're
yeah.
doing
Here, we can
but-
talk about what we liked about it.
Yeah,
while
I
they're-
wanted
while
to
they're
just ask you
occupied.
guys about that. Well,
There's going to be a continuation, right?
no.
What?
That's what I hated about
No,
it.
no.
We need to know what happened.
Yeah, there's gonna be a continuation. This is actually
I
a
didn't
continuation of a
realize.
continuation.
I
of a
didn't realize
continuation.
this was going to be multiple parts. I thought this was going to be a one shot. I wasn't prepared for that.
Oh, really? You thought he was just gonna stay dead?
Aw, nope.
That's why
You know,
I'm done
if,
with you.
If they continue, there's a chance that they'll bring him back with
I'm
secret
hoping
Yeah,
magic.
yeah, but I kind of wanted them to do that all in one shot so that we wouldn't have to wait.
Nope, we
Nope,
were planning.
nope, nope,
we
nope,
were
nope.
planning to do it, and you're like, dude, what if we end here and make it 2 shots? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with this.
I
It's
know,
3
right?
a.m. and I'm
It's one of
tired.
those cliffhanger things
Yeah,
that
yeah,
make
they
you
love
hate
cliffhangers.
people.
We do.
Admittedly, I love writing
Yeah,
cliffhangers
yeah,
too.
cliffhangers. Do you want to know what I did? Because we're evil.
Yeah.
For spring break. And the other one, when Russell got into the accident and nobody knew if he died or not, or what happened to him, I'm like, hey, Georgia,
Yes.
I know you're writing this one because it's just your characters, and I'm just kind of writing Quinn packing up his stuff and thinking, oh man, I'm a bad person and Russell hates me. Hey, well, you should end it on there, and we shouldn't do anything afterward that, because then people have to wait 2 weeks to know what happens. And she's like, oh, dude, that's so evil. And then it worked.
And now you guys have to wait till next week to find
Yes.
out what happened.
Yes.
Dun dun dun.
I know, right?
Dun,
So
dun, dun.
you're awesome, all of you. You all did a good job too.
Do you know
So-
those people?
Yes. Thoughts?
I don't know those people.
I don't either.
People waving at us and we don't know
So,
them.
Clarice, since you heard the other ending the other day, what do you think? Tell Virgilia what happened in the other one that you listened to the other day when I was crying my eyes out.
Well, Russell was in a coma, and Quinn found out by reading the newspaper and showed up at the hospital and monologued to him for a while, and then gave him the locket that he stole that one night, and the locket and the talking and so on woke up Russell, and it was exciting.
It was glorious. It was like a magical moment. He just sprouted
I was crying
to
the
life.
entire time, Virgilia. Seriously.
Yeah.
She was
That
like
oh my
crying.
You listened to the
Should've-
recording, I'm
Should
literally
have
crying.
been there.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah.
I love seeing little.
What are we
girls
ever gonna
cry.
do if everyone shows up at once?
Yeah. This is why you
We should
do
write a script that has everyone in it, just and hold it to the side in case we ever have everyone all at the same time.
this. Yeah.
That would be sweet.
Yeah. But thoughts. I keep saying
I did
that.
have 2 thoughts.
Yeah.
The
she-
part
yes.
where Russell decides to sit down in Quinn's body is adorable.
I know, right?
creepy feels like I was.
Not creepy. I'm gonna take more pictures while you talk, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
And then
But-
there's something during the phone call.
Okay, but I was gonna just talk about the part where he sits down because I just wrote it that he stood up, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like doing the dishes, and I'm thinking about my post. I'm like, wait a minute, Christina! And so I run back to my computer, write this post. My family's bursting into my room. I'm like, go away. I'm like, I'm writing serious things. Yes, and then I'm like, finally, when I had like 5 minutes to myself, I wrote it, and I'm like, you know what? This is creepy, but it's kind of sentimental, and I kind of like it. So.
It's not creepy.
Oh,
I feel
thanks.
like
I'll
it's
stop.
creepy to an outsider's perspective.
Yeah.
Like, oh, weirdos. But, like, what is it? This being, like, the first time I've done this and I'm hearing of these characters and their relationships, it's, like, already, like, I have to be really close for this not to be super creepy.
They are. They are.
Yeah, they
I was
are.
gonna say you have to really trust that person not to like go do something else. Or
Not to be like,
anything.
okay, this body's mine now. Hi.
I should. Oh my gosh, that's what I was gonna tell you. Remember, I was gonna tell you something and then I forgot. I'm like,
Yeah.
we can write a spin-off of a spin-off of a spin-off, or Russell just
No
runs around
spin-offs of
Quinn's
spin-offs.
body. I'm like, with Russell just taking Quinn's body, he's like, psych. I'm like, that would never
there
happen.
needs to be an
though, so we can't
intervention
write-
here.
So we can't write that.
Rosanna react.
The other thing
Yeah.
I was going to comment on.
That would never happen, by the way, just so you guys know, because they're sweet and Russell would never do that.
I was going to
But
comment
yes.
on the little section where Russell and Quinn are talking to Rosanna and are figuring out the things that they hadn't told each other.
Yeah.
That was great too.
I love that
My
part.
favorite line was when I said, prison! Nobody ever told me you were in prison.
I
Yeah,
love
that
that.
one.
And Russell, I love Russell. He's like, no one ever told me either. I love him there.
Same feelings, but Quinn was the only one who said it.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just love
And it's ironic
kinda idiot
that the
characters.
con man would be like,
prison. You are in prison.
what are you doing with your life?
Behave yourself, Russell.
What are you doing?
Because he's been to prison once, but
Yeah.
and he's all like, "This Russell's a good guy. I'm not gonna make him go to prison."
It's like, why were you in prison? But yeah, Clarice, you look like you have something on your mind. Go ahead.
I was actually like reading off the script and we were getting to like the last 2 pages and I'm like looking at them.
Right? Because I'm like, is there any way we can find it?
That was
Read the
I
headers.
was like, how many pages are there? There are only 2 pages. They're not gonna finish this.
I thought they were and I was like, oh my gosh, how are they going to wrap this up?
Why not? There we go.
I know, it was great.
Yeah, I was glancing over to see you guys' faces every so often. You guys are just like, I'm like, oh my gosh.
One of the lines me and you were both like, "We're so done." What was it?
What was
you ran
the line?
away. I don't remember what it was. But
Oh,
it gave us
I don't know. I
feelings.
tried to ignore you guys.
I was running away. That was it. I was just
Right.
about to run away when Quinn was like, yeah, he didn't tell me. And then I saw my line with Russell and he's like, hey, Quinn. I'm like, no.
Oh yeah, when he
no.
has to use his body, we both
Yeah.
had feels going
I'm
on
like,
there.
no. Yeah, I thought of that idea a while before I told you, and then I'm like, hey, I got this idea, and you're like, save it for the roleplay. I want to see. I was gonna tell Christina about my idea about Russell borrowing Quinn, and she's like, no, don't tell me.
I'm like, save it. Let it happen.
And then it was happening, and she's like, I'm done.
I know, it was so epic.
Oh, thanks.
Any more lasting thoughts before we're done?
Yeah.
No. Virginia looks shocked.
I know, we
you
were
said
going over
done,
this.
so I was like, what? It doesn't feel like it's been an hour yet.
It has
11:09
been.
now.
Yeah.
I know, right? It goes by
yeah.
quick.
It does.
This clock.
That
is a-
clock.
Nah, that clock lied to me.
Yeah. Oh,
Anything
but
else?
yeah.
Unless you can tell us the rest of the story.
We
Nope,
can,
we're
if you
done
guys
here.
have any questions to us as authors. I was going to answer the closeness because, like, Russell has literally saved Quinn's life several times, and so they are pretty close. So
Yeah.
they are like they mentioned a few times in here, best friend, brother. So
They're like this, with the
like
crossing
that.
of fingers.
yeah, the crossing of you
So
guys
that you guys cannot see.
Exactly.
That's really close. That's too close for comfort.
too close for comfort.
too close.
You know what this script
Exactly.
needed?
What did that script need?
Unicorns.
Unicorn. Why?
Love them.
We'll write a script with
And they're
unicorns.
just going to just walk
It's just
right through
I
the
know this
screen.
song. It's a great song. Unicorns, I love them.
that's a good song.
can
I
have
like
that
that song.
plan.
I know a good. Never mind.
Now running through my head.
Never mind. If I say the other song, it'll be running through people's heads.
Oh no! What was that one song? The Brothers Bloom song.
Oh my
But
goodness, no.
At the end part, it's like,
did.
just keep speaking to me,
And then
Yeah.
you said it
and
in
then
the
I dropped
line.
Yeah.
I dropped that line
Yeah.
just for Christina.
Yeah. I hate you for that.
Yes, because it was like Quinn's song, and at the end it's like, just keep speaking to me, because like Quinn wants Russell to just keep speaking to
I
him,
know.
and then Russell's like,
You
just
said
keep
it
speaking to me,
back.
man. So
I died
I'm
when I
like,
read that.
yeah. So you're like, I'm done. And I'm like, Christina, come back. I thought you'd like it. I mentioned your favorite song, and she's like, no.
Huh?
But go ahead.
I said, is anyone on after us?
No, we're good.
Oh,
good.
look at that.
But yeah.
Oh, did you see? I didn't do my. I wanted to. Like,
Ty just said, "Oh my goodness."
Oh great, we killed Ty. We killed Ty.
We killed Ty.
Oh, jeez.
I think I might be behind because
I don't know why they're so
Yeah.
happy on killing people.
Yeah, they kill characters too.
Apparently.
Do you know how many times in different? Okay, so I created Quinn.
Oh goodness.
No.
I created Quinn with Miranda, right? and she.
I know her.
Yeah. And so, and I don't know how many times Quinn has died. He's technically died in this one because of the mansion fire, and Russell saved him.
You think he?
No, he did die, bro. Stop it. He died.
He was like right by the explosion,
He was the one
guys.
who started the fire.
Is there a controversy here?
Yes. George is too happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
That's
feel
you
like
happy-go-lucky.
Quinn is Christina's
That's a lie. We've seen the scripts that Georgia has written.
Hey guys.
Oh yeah, the one that
Which
surprised us all about Russell's.
Oh, about
Accident.
that was.
Everybody was like,
yeah.
Christina, you're evil. I'm like, no, that was all Georgia. I was just the one who told everybody to wait until spring break.
Yeah.
And then everybody looked at you, and Ty was like,
Yes, Ty was giving me death glares. But yeah. We're at a Discord. It's like, what happened to Quinn? So we think something really bad happened to Quinn at the masquerade party. But like, Russell went back in time to save him. That's when he saved
I
his
just
life.
realized that's why we always have you guys on that side of the table and us on this side of the table, so we can sit here and glare at you.
Exactly.
I thought this was just the
Ty, I
same
just got your
side.
text. I love
No,
you.
no,
I'm
you
gonna read.
obviously don't know me.
I'm gonna read what she said online. If you don't mind.
Okay.
She says, "You two just keep getting worse. I'm afraid to listen to the one I missed before last week. That was freaking beautiful." Thank you.
Yeah, that's so sweet. I feel like people have questions and I keep cutting them
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
I don't have questions. Do you have questions?
I'm
I'm not a people.
You're what?
She's not a people.
She's a person.
She's a person.
I'm
Yes.
a fairy princess.
Okay.
Aren't we all?
And she's a Disney princess.
You're the which one do you want to be?
Go, yeah.
Oh man, I can't choose Belle.
Can I be Elsa?
I can completely
Elsa's
see you.
Can I let it go?
I'm Rapunzel.
Can I just let the script go?
No. No.
And they're not allowed to be Disney princesses.
Yep.
Carrying on.
Wait, which
are.
one would I be? Random question of the day.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'll let you know later, but
Yeah, we'll let
Elizabeth?
you know.
Does it have to be a Disney princess?
No, I actually hate.
Because I always wanted to be the Swan Princess, and then Rapunzel came out, and I was Rapunzel.
Yeah.
That's like
We're a little sidetracked here.
Yeah, what were
We
you
are,
gonna say?
it's
I was
okay.
gonna say with your hair,
Princess.
it looks like Flynn Rider.
That's
I
what
love
everybody keeps
Quinn.
telling me. They're
I
like, you're
love
fun because
Quinn.
you're derp, and I'm like, yeah.
It's time to
that.
cosplay Quinn. I mean, it's time to cosplay Flynn.
I know, right? I'll be thinking of Russell, and then I'll just say Quinn, or I'll be thinking of Russell.
Quinn Flynn.
Quinn Flynn, Russell. These are all great guys, so I'll just like interchange them. What were you gonna say, Elizabeth?
I didn't have anything to say.
You were gonna say something.
No.
Okay.
Any other Disney guys that could be guys?
Aladdin.
What's that one? What's that one guy? The Beauty and the Beast. Gaston.
Oh my goodness, I actually really love Gaston. He's my favorite character in Beauty and the Beast.
Hercules. He's a derp.
I love Hercules.
Come on, no.
caught off guard.
What?
Completely that you like Gaston.
I love There's a part when he says in every inch of me's covered in hair.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, that explains everything.
No, actually, no. Did you know Hugh Jackman played him on Broadway?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
nice.
pretty epic. I was just like, Wolverine as Gaston's the best thing ever.
Oh, he also played a role of Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma
Yeah.
was so
Yeah.
good.
I saw that and it was freaking awesome.
We
okay.
are so
Oh,
off track.
I know- I know
we
what I
should
wanna say.
probably leave.
No, I know what I want to say.
What?
Thoughts about characters and hopes for the next script. There we go.
Yeah. I'm also gonna do another plug for the show on the Twitter page later. Or
Okay,
before
yeah.
we're done.
Thoughts about characters, hopes for the next script. Go.
Go.
I hope it comes quickly.
Oh, thanks.
It's not gonna.
Oh,
You're terrible.
You're crushing people's hopes
I'd
and
like
dreams.
to see more destruction.
Destruction.
Like,
And
Julia's gonna
unicorns.
get what she wants.
I want someone to feel completely miserable, like have their hopes trampled
Already
on.
got that.
No, it's got to be
Seriously.
worse. It's
All right, I can solve your problem. I know what you could do to make it worse.
What?
What?
Because
Like, it's
you
gotta be
could
worse
have,
than
you
death.
have to at some point. At some point,
You can never
Rosanna
meet again?
has to figure out.
yeah, maybe that's no.
The
Maybe
reactions are
that's
priceless.
maybe that's what it has to be like at the beginning of this, where he's like, "Why are you ignoring me?" Like, have one of them forget the other, and move on with their life and have a new best friend.
Well, no, that's kind of how it was at the beginning because like Quinn was like he felt a breeze on his
yeah, but
his
it's gonna
shoulder.
continue on like, and maybe like his memories will be not.
You're
replaced.
not allowed to give them
They
ideas.
won't be
speak
friendship.
anymore
They'll be
because I will do
replaced
this.
with like hatred for the other. Like I remember
awful.
you.
Oh
you
my
ruined
goodness.
my life.
When-
like that.
No more ideas. Stop it.
Can you please reunite Rosanna and Russel, please, can you read
That's
We
true,
do-
because you never did that in the last script either.
I do have good news for you because those are my chaps and I can say what I want about them. We do.
Those are my chaps.
They are. But can I say
thought you said
what we have planned? Eventually.
You gotta whisper it to me first, bro.
Okay.
There's silence on the air or something.
As they're not supposed
This
to
is
be.
whatever.
I don't
But
know.
yes, I do have more Russell and Rosanna things planned.
Good.
So I'm not gonna leave it just like, oh hey, Quinn just being like, oh yeah, how is everything? Not so good. Your boyfriend's kind of like a ghost, and I'm freaking him out. You should be freaking out too. And he's kind of giving me this weird look.
That's a little side
Yes.
Well, no,
Yeah.
he can control bodies, so he can be like, he can go into like a famous actor that Rosanna would love. I mean, seriously.
Okay,
That's why I said
that's
just go into
wrong.
Quinn because he's beautiful.
But yeah, Christina's original response to that, where Rosanna was like, "Oh, is everything okay?" Okay, and Christina types, she's like, "Oh, heck no, your boyfriend's a ghost. I'm flipping out. You shouldn't be okay. Nothing's okay anymore."
I'm showing them the colored picture.
Oh yeah, we'll put that up on the site where Russell is borrowing Quinn.
Isn't Quinn beautiful? Look at how beautiful he is. This is my
Are you crying? Yeah, I was drawing that. I'm like da 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 da, da. And everyone's like,
All the emotions,
exactly.
all in one picture.
It is, yeah.
Hey!
Oh, I know those people.
Those are people. Yeah. So should we?
I think Allie's being grabbed and taken away somewhere.
You know, being in here,
I feel we should be
it
concerned.
makes me feel bad for all the people I stare at when they're in here and I walk by.
I don't feel
Yeah.
bad at all.
Hey! Hi.
So-
on
you
the,
see
like-
my epic shirt? George drew
Yeah.
it.
We're having conversations with the people through the glass.
Yeah.
I don't think they hear
Should-
you.
should
We can't
wrap
hear them
things-
either. They can
should we
hear
wrap
us.
things up?
You can hear us.
They can?
Hey!
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't
because
know
of
that.
speakers out there,
Yeah.
as Allie is
Oh.
demonstrating.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's
Rock
why every
on.
now and then people stop and stare at us while we're doing stuff, is because they can hear us and go, "What
Okay.
is that?"
Yeah, and we
Explains
just like
it.
talk.
Oh,
to
sorry.
I'm a little
I probably
dumb.
should have left you disillusioned.
Yeah, now I'm scared. People could actually hear me.
You're kind of on air. Yeah.
Oh man,
no,
good thing I didn't like say anything about those people because I was
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Well, yeah.
weird
Claire-
ones that walk
Claire-
by. No, I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
Clarice.
Like, did you know
They're
that?
like,
I don't even want to know what's going on out there. Keep talking.
But yeah, Clarice, when you're like, people can hear me, because I was flipping out about the script. I'm like, people are gonna hear this.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
okay,
I'm glad I got over
Georgia, it's
myself.
not
Yes,
creepy.
thank you. Okay.
I mean, he's a
But
ghost.
Yeah,
They
where
have
was the
ghost stories.
creepy part?
The fact that he's a ghost. George is like, oh, can't do this. I'm like, no, you can do
Now,
this.
if you want creepy in your script, I'll help out. I mean,
Sweet little Virgilia.
I don't know what
Are
you're
you
talking
gonna make
I
your
don't-
unicorns creepy?
Unicorn
Unicorns
will
are
inhabit
creepy.
people's bodies.
I don't know
That's
I don't know where
dark.
you get sweet little Virgilia from, Georgia. I thought you knew me.
I was just thinking like it was like a unicorn that did Russell in. How? He got like trampled by
You
unicorns.
dabbed him.
It'd
It's
be
like Charlie the
robot
Unicorn.
attack
You seen
with
that?
the,
Terrible.
the
Yeah.
metal
That's
version.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We should probably be wrapping up.
Yeah. I was just about to say
Okay,
that. So,
let me,
any closing thoughts before we wrap up?
Hope you liked the script. Hope we didn't kill too many hearts out there. So
We're not sorry.
we're not sorry. So we're gonna go in order of. Okay, so Virgilia, any closing thoughts and say bye. We're signing off.
Asking all the hard questions. No, I think I'm good. Oh, but you have me on Facebook. You should send me the links to all the
All stuff.
stuff. I'll follow you.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Clarice?
Do you hear that? That's the sound of hearts breaking.
So.
So keep that in mind when you're writing the next script.
They're already broken. You can't do
They are.
I know,
But
right?
they can be healed. They can be
Yeah,
healed.
They could
No,
be healed
you-
and then rebroken
You
again.
remind me of Russell. He's like, man, I would be heartbroken if
I had a heart.
You guys are evil.
Why couldn't we just say goodbye, Rosanna, like that, like we always do when we quote each other?
I don't know.
We sucked at that.
Why?
Terrible.
But it was good because it was kind of
It was like
awkward.
it was an echo too. Yeah.
Like it was kind of like there's a ghost inside like that.
That too.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Elizabeth. What about you?
I'm just going to. I'm gonna apologize now because Christina and Georgia won't apologize. I am so sorry to all of you listeners. We still love you. They just like breaking your hearts anyway. It's a complicated relationship, but we love you anyway. Good night.
Love hate. Okay, Georgia. What about you?
Okay, this is Georgia McCartney signing off. Everybody knows my name now.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Okay. You were listening to Stark Actors on the Airwaves, and we hope you have a nice night. Sorry we broke your hearts. I will apologize. Thank you for listening. spit.
Okay, I'm sorry too. There.
Okay.
We both did it.
You were listening to 91.1 WRMU, Radio Voice of Mount Union. Good night, everybody. Peace.